Go.
Welcome, racers. How's it going, everyone? Sorry, you're joining me in the middle of crazy prototype traffic and practice here. We're in Germany virtually this week at the Nürburgring. Only the GP circuit. I say only because we're not running the full 15-mile Nordschleife, a 24-hour layout. But not to take away at all from the fact that the GP layout here is awesome. It's a real shame that Formula One doesn't race here anymore, because this track's just getting ready for it this week. It reminded me how much I missed this place. It's just such a great flowing layout with some really cool geometry, and I think it's going to make for a really good race tonight. So, yeah, this is going to be good. This is the best I've ever felt with the Ferrari. We did a good bit of practice today. Honestly, we took our setup from Portimao and changed absolutely nothing to it whatsoever. And the car feels amazing. Like, I finally, if you've watched my previous streams, you've kind of seen how I've been a little apprehensive about figuring out what the car wants. I don't know if something clicked or if we just have the setup spot on, but the car feels really good. We should be as close as we've ever been to the aliens, and I don't know if I'm going to quite be there with them. They always still find a way to pull another second and a half out that I'm not sure is possible, but I can turn lap after lap that's right there. We're in qualifying trim right now, setting up for. I'm going to set up for a fast qualifying lap, but we should be able to crack off something in the low 59s if I can put a lap together here, which will put us inside a second and a half of the fast guys. Big brake zone, really wide track. Go through the AMG arena section right now. A couple long duration left-handers where you're working the rear of the car a lot. And then it quickly unwinds to this right-hander here. And normally for normal LLS races, you go to the right here. But here, we're going to run the bottom half of the track as well. Tough braking zone there with a lot of camber downhill. Ooh, little over rotation. Going to cost me some time. Be about 3-4 tenths. Little over rotation. Hairpin at the bottom of the hill. Drive it deep on the brakes. Patient on throttle and squeeze and go. Come up to the Schumacher S-bend, which has been very difficult to hold flat. You have to stay off this inside curb. Don't quite have the tire temp to make that stick, and it's going to cost us a time penalty. All right, well, unfortunately, it's just practice right now. But it really just gets to me all the time how in qualifying you never have enough time to get proper heat in your tires. I think emotionally, qualifying should be your ultimate perfect conditions lap. And it just never is when you're never allowed to get full heat in your tires with just an out and then 2 flyers. You can't possibly get enough heat in even the first one, so I'm just going to go back to pit lane here and reset. But we'll move over to our race setup for now. But yeah, so we're back on our regular schedule tonight. Unfortunately, Angelo and TJ were not able to join us, so not to say we just have Daphne and Garrett, but tonight we have Garrett back on spotting for us, and yeah, Daphne, our marketing director, and my lovely wife joining us tonight. So how are you guys doing tonight?
Doing pretty good tonight. Doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Ready for a good race. We've been pretty competitive with the aliens, so I got a good feeling tonight. Very good feeling.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about this one. How about you, Daphne? How are you doing?
I mean, I feel like this is the most comfortable I've seen you with the car setup so far.
Yeah.
Which is nice because it was quite a learning curve with the new car. Would you say so?
Yes, it's definitely been a learning curve. But I'm feeling really good for this one. The car just does everything I ask of it all the time. I mean, you're still limited by grip, but I don't feel like there's crazy things that I'm want more out of it. I know Angelo's would be pushing me to try this, that, and the other thing to make it go faster, but honestly, I think stuff's clicking for me this week with the car, so.
We love that for you.
Yeah, right.
You do have a Debbie
Oh,
in the
hi,
chat.
Mom. Thank you for joining.
Hey, Mom. We also have a Nelson. We
Oh.
also have a Josiah.
Well, hello, Nelson and Josiah. Thank you for joining. Again, guys, you've been here every week since you've started, so thanks for the consistency with that.
Yeah, they're the real MVPs.
Yeah, for sure. You guys are great.
Also, to plug Josiah, of course.
Yes.
Thank you to Replica Racing for our wonderful liveries. The Ferrari looks amazing. I don't know what you did to it that changed the outside of it and how it looks in iRacing, but it looks amazing.
It looks so good, especially in this late in the day time.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, the lighting is awesome with it. I don't know if you can see it right now from the outside, but yeah.
I don't have a way of showing that for everyone until we get to the pit lane, but it looks stellar in the replays. I'll clip through a replay at some point between a session here.
There you go. That's how you show it off. And also pit stop.
Yes. And I know Garrett already has an alarm set for us so that we do not miss our race lobby this week. It's not going to happen. Right, Garrett?
I was gonna watch the timer just to wait, but now you say it, might as well just make the timer, honestly.
Yeah, let's
I'll
overkill
just set
that
the
one.
timer for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Also, anyone in the chat, feel free to yell at us if you don't see that we're going into the right lobby.
Yeah, I'm going to get it done early. We're going to move as soon as that lobby opens this time. Funny, in a lot of ways, the car feels better in its race trim than it does in quali trim, even though it's the identical setup. Just something about the additional weight balance in the rear of the car. See, this is where I would want Angelo here to have this discussion. Like, maybe for qualifying, do we change the ride height a little bit to compensate for the adjustment in weight balance? But car feels really good in race trim. So,
We were only about a second off of most of the aliens earlier with our race trim. I'd say this is really good today. Just gotta hope we don't get Parabitini guys too high like Zach over here, setting 57.6s.
I don't know how that's possible. I'm gonna ignore that. That's an outlier.
Yeah, that contradicts everything we've seen all day long.
Yeah. Low 59s is fast. High 58s is really, really fast. 57 is, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know if it's about lap time or not.
I would hope it isn't.
Yeah.
I don't know where you're finding that time.
Yeah. I mean, in race trim at the end of the race simulation we did earlier today, I did a full race distance. Towards the end, what did I get off? Like a low 59 in the race?
Yeah, low 59.
Yeah, so in qualifying, I think in theory we can get to the low 59s again, but usually it's just we're tire temperature limited for making that happen. So for anyone watching, we basically started with we went to Watkins Glen and then to Portimao. We took the high downforce setup, which so far all of these tracks have very much been you would think you would want a high downforce setup. That'll change when you go to Daytona next week, so we're gonna have to start all over again. But we took the high downforce setup. We've kind of just been tweaking it. And honestly, it's felt really good. We have to make some minor adjustments from track to track, just balance and tendencies, and just to make tire temps cooperate. But I think what we have tonight is really good. So.
And Replica Racing says we've got a young new follower joining. Damien says hello. joining us tonight and loves race cars.
Hello, Damien. Thank you for joining. You got to come check out the Chicane Club, Damien. You got to come see this place in person. I don't have a yellow Ferrari here to show you. It looks like this one, but maybe someday we will. I know what Angelo would be saying right now. He'd want to make all these setup changes for qualifying to make the car feel better for me. We would be playing with damper settings to change kind of the behavior on the transient sections of corners and all that stuff. But I don't want to play with any of those. Maybe he's even watching somewhere, muttering that all to himself right now. I know I sent
He's
him
probably
a link.
crawling in his skin while he's watching.
Yeah. So this week, Angelo is out. I think he might be in the air right now on an airplane going to Wisconsin. He's going out to Road America with FRP to engineer some guys in open wheel cars out there.
When I asked him earlier why his flight was delayed, he said, hydraulic squishy maintenance.
Ah.
So, there you go. They didn't have an Angelo, though, so.
Everyone needs an Angelo.
Everyone does need an Angelo.
Being squishy.
Angelo helped you with stuff this week, too, on the sim.
Yeah, multiple things.
A lot of things.
Yeah, we had to rebuild our brake master cylinders again. We've had some minor issues with them, but spent a couple hours in the Anze suspension shop with Angelo, and we're much better off for it now. All right, Garrett, I think I want to make that change. We were talking about it ahead of time. So,
Let's put in.
I will channel some inner Angelo right now. What time is it? Can we get into the race lobby yet?
It's 8:12. Got about 3 minutes.
All right, so by the time I exit out, we'll get there. We were talking about earlier about taking another notch of rear wing out of this, which will make the car faster in a straight line because of less drag, but also going to move the aerodynamic center of pressure, which is kind of like the aerodynamic balance on the car, a little bit more forward, which will help the car be a little bit more reactive in higher speed stuff for me. So we're going to stop here. All right, so let's get out. We'll exit out of this session and move over the race lobby. See, we're already ahead of where we were last week. All right.
Go ahead and cancel that timer.
Yes, thank you. All right. No, I can't technically join that one quite yet. So here, what we'll do, we'll look at our results so far in the series for this season. We didn't have a strong start at Watkins Glen. I made a mistake in the bus stop, so that hasn't helped us at all. Let's see where we rank up here. So having participated in only just 1 week at Watkins Glen and then really only one race last week also, we've only got 126 points so far. So that puts us in 1,001, which is kind of normal for this early in the series. But what we can do is see, I assume we're in Division 3 again. Not. Division 2 now? I'm in Division 2 now. That's awful. I've got a lot of work to do. We got moved up a division. All right. Well, that makes our division more difficult. But let's see how we're doing in the state of Florida, or at least the Florida Club.
No pressure.
No pressure. This hasn't been working for me in a while. I don't know why. It worked. It didn't stop working at the end of last season, but when I switched to Florida, it doesn't show me as being registered to Florida, even though, I am. It doesn't filter correctly, and it's been on multiple PCs, so I don't know why that's not working now for some reason. Who can explain that to me? Well, that's irritating. All right, well, never mind. So either way, here, is this officially open yet? let's look at the Ferrari Challenge schedule looking forward, and maybe there's a couple of these. Maybe if you guys want to drop comments on ones you want to see me do, maybe we can do a couple of these in some upcoming, just kind of solo live streams where I just hop in and do a race in shorter form, or a couple of them back to back, or something like that. So this week it's running at Oschersleben, which I haven't actually driven myself. I think Garrett, was that the one you were doing a couple of weeks ago with the GT3?
Yeah, it's pretty tight. It's an interesting one. Some very, very interesting corners. A lot of double apexes, even a triple apex at one point.
Yeah, that one would be interesting. I don't know Okayama. I think I drove it once like 5 or 10 years ago, and I just don't remember it, so I'd have to reteach myself.
Portimao, I could take you to leave it.
Yeah, I don't know that I don't remember it being terribly memorable. Portimao, well, we just got finished with that one, so that one I know. Sachsenring, I think, is that the one that's one of the new ones for this season? I think it is. I think that's one of the new ones. Yeah, I don't even own it. So that's a new one for this season. And then Oulton Park, I think it's been a long while since I've driven that one. So that one I might need a refresher on. Watkins Glen, definitely no. That's where we started the season. Spa, yeah, done and done. Laguna Seca, I know. Imola would be awesome in VIR. So I don't know. I love Watkins Glen, love Spa, love Laguna, love Imola, and I love VIR. So maybe towards the end of the season, we'll pick up and do a couple of these on some kind of spin-off ones at different times. So, yeah, let's move into our race lobby. It's officially open now. Oh, we're not going to miss the race tonight. So TJ's not here because I believe they're on a family vacation. I think they're going up to Disney this week. So they are out. But also, go Cats. Congratulations to the Florida Panthers for winning the Stanley Cup. I didn't even get to say that to you at some point this week, Aaron. But yeah, that's awesome. It was a huge nail biter of a game.
It was an awesome game.
I was losing it the entire time.
Were you losing it? Yeah.
I could not sit still. I was so stressed.
The whole last period was, I have so hard to watch. But that was cool. It's so cool to see them finally win the Stanley Cup. So, and to do it at home in style after a very dramatic first 6 games.
So dramatic.
Yeah.
Too dramatic.
Way too dramatic.
Yeah. I love being in a state where there's literally never been ice naturally forming. A part of the country where there's never
once
ever
it's
been
not here
ice.
once, and then it turned to slush. But it never has icy here, and yet we won.
We won the Stanley Cup. It's like, didn't Vegas won last year, and a couple of years ago the LA Kings won? Like, these are places that ice has never ever been. So I feel, part of me sympathizes with the Canadians that they haven't won the Stanley Cup in so long, and I feel bad because it's like kind of like their sport, and it's cold there, and they have a lot of natural outdoor ice hockey. But go Cats go. So I won't change my allegiance to that one. So I know TJ and Christy are really big Panthers fans, and we are all here too.
Yes, they're huge Panthers fans.
Yeah. So. All right. So, like we were talking about before, I want to take one notch of rear wing out of this and see what it does. I'm expecting that this is going to make the car a little bit more nervous in the high-speed stuff, but it could be just enough to help it really carve into the high-speed stuff without being twitchy or scary. So we're going to see here how that actually feels. I don't want to go chasing the setup too much, but we'll see. All right. So this is our full race trim setup, so full fuel load. I don't know if it comes across on the live stream. You guys can hear it enough over our voices. But the blow-off valve on this thing is pretty cool. I don't know, Garrett, you can probably only hear it when you're driving the car, but it sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it does sound like a vacuum, but it does have that going for it.
Yeah.
Especially when you first get the power too, the intake sounds are pretty nice, and then it just starts getting drowned out by that horrendous V6, a Dyson vacuum.
Yep. The Ferrari Dyson. Sponsored by Dyson.
Dyson? Even Dyson has a V8 model.
What?
Yeah, they have the Dyson V8s and V12s. Ferrari's lacking.
used to be a team called Dyson Racing based in, oh, that was some high-speed aero loose. But I'm still on full tire, so I'm not going to get too carried away. There used to be a team in kind of central upstate New York called Dyson Racing after Chris Dyson. Chris Dyson still races. No relation to the vacuum company. Or vacuum cleaners.
So,
What's up?
the little Sabelt logo.
What's that?
The Sabelt logo.
Yes.
I mean, I feel like that's pretty cool. That they're just there.
It's pretty what?
I feel like it's pretty cool.
Yeah, having their window net like that?
I mean, that must be. I mean, I'm gonna assume that it's there very purposefully, but I also don't see any other brands in the car.
Well, they now make window net products, and the logo is, I guarantee you, on that same strap in that same place. So I don't think that's anything artificial. That's just what you would actually see if you were sitting in the seat
In the car,
in
yeah.
the actual car. I know iRacing doesn't really play favorites like that, so
You know, that's kind of what I was alluding to a little bit. Yeah.
yeah, it's not just like a shameless logo promotion. It's just there because, you know, these cars are delivered with a Sabelt window net, and you would see that logo sitting in the real car like that.
Right there in the real car, yeah.
Yeah. Just like how some cars have the Race Logic lap timer built into the sim model.
Mm-hmm.
It's just how these cars are sold. Woo. All right, it's definitely more pointy, but I want to see if I can do this for a distance here. Oh, yeah. As if there's not enough Sabelt stuff on our screen. We love working with Sabelt. That's why we just love talking about their stuff all the time. But
I mean, I was actually not even trying to plug them. I just thought genuinely that interesting that they have the logo very, very prominently right there on the side.
yeah, anyone driving this car gets to look at it all the time.
But yes, we do love Sabelt.
We do, yeah. Stop it.
I have heard it pronounced in all different ways, so I don't know if it's a potato thing or if it's a Euro-American thing.
Everyone in the U.S. office pronounces it Sabelt. I used to pronounce it Sabelt until I knew better. But it might still be potato.
Well, I'm sticking to it. And I learned from you, so I can just blame you if anyone ever corrects me.
It's not Sabelt. I don't think it's Sabelt, because maybe that's another option, but I've
definitely heard that as well. Yes, I have. And I've heard it in so many different ways, so many times, that I'm just like, I think it's just potato.
Yep.
I don't know if it sounds wrong any other way besides Sabel.
Yeah. Did you know Sabelt also makes aviation and aerospace products?
Really?
Yeah, they do the seatbelts in a lot of commercial jets and in space programs.
I did
Actually,
not know that. Yeah, I did not know that. Of course they would, though.
Yeah. Right?
We should tell Lauren how much we just plugged them.
You can tell her tomorrow morning.
That's true.
Oh, the way this thing drives out. It's so good. Boom. 59.8.
Nice.
Here we go.
Is this your quality setup?
No. So I'm carrying around, I don't know, an extra 100 pounds of fuel right now. And it wasn't a perfect lap. I wasn't trying to do a quali lap. And I'm still 2 seconds off. How is that possible?
We have a question from Damien, our newest viewer.
Cool. What's up, Damien?
Damien asks, do you think you could be a GT3 driver in real life? If not, would you want to be one?
Maybe and yes. I think I could drive a GT3 car in real life. I would very much like to drive a GT3 car in real life. I'll put it that way. I think it would take a little bit of practice for me. I've never driven anything quite as fast in real life. So I'd need some practice and to build up to being that fast, but I would definitely love to take the opportunity to do it and put myself to that challenge. So sign me up. Any IMSA teams watching? I'm your guy. I'll be the fastest slow guy on the team. Ooh, a little deep on the brakes. It is a personal goal of mine to win the Daytona 24 in some capacity as a driver someday. So I will need to become a GT3 driver or something equivalent in the future. Working really hard towards making that happen at some point in my life. Got a long way to go. I've been a GT3 engineer and strategist and coach for a long time. That I've done, but I haven't done it from the driver's seat myself. And for anyone listening, yes, I have been to the Nürburgring before. I was here last summer with Shane and CP Racing for an NLS weekend. So they were running the full endurance layout, including the Nordschleife. And I think the one day we ran this full GP layout in addition to the Nordschleife. So, yes, I have been here, and yes, it is absolutely incredible to experience in person. It's very cool getting to, like, knowing a place in just a sim for a long time, and then going to see it in real life, and you're like, oh man, I know that. You just get such a different perspective on everything. And it's super cool to, like, recognize things that you only know from the sim world and then see it in real life. Like, one morning when I was walking into the track, I walked on this path to the right here. I walked all the way up that hill at, like, the crack of dawn with fog coming off the track, and it's pretty cool. So, very special to be there. An absolute mecca for motorsports people.
You didn't get to drive on the track though, did you?
No, unfortunately. We were going to do some tourist laps, but the one morning that we had available, and a really cool rental car I had, we were not able to drive laps there. The tourist laps were not open to the public.
That's a shame considering you had an M8, right?
M850. All right, so here's a cool little story. So I flew to Europe last summer to call strategy with CP Racing for their 24-hour race. And it just so happened that the prior weekend, that team was at the Nürburgring running one of the NLS races. And I've never been to the Nürburgring. And they didn't technically need me there. But I'm like, hey guys, you're going to be at the Nürburgring. Can I just show up and you get me a pass and, like, I'll help you out on the radio? And they're like, yeah, sure, no problem. So I fly in a couple days early, drive on the Autobahn, down to the Nürburgring. Anyways, the rental car, I'm at the airport in Frankfurt. The airport in Frankfurt, I had rented like an M135 BMW. I splurged, spent the extra money. I'm like, you know, I'm in Germany, I'm doing the Autobahn, going to the Nürburgring. I want a cool car. Like,
already a fun car.
Already a fun car, an M135. So I get to the rental car counter, and they're like, I'm so sorry, sir. I'm not going to do a German accent, so...
come on. Give it a shot. One in
so
Germany.
Sorry, sir. No, let's see, that's already wrong. I'm not going to do it. I'm so sorry, sir, we don't have any M135s. Would an M4 Cabrio be okay? And I'm like, for the same price? And they're like, yeah, absolutely, no problem. And I'm like, yeah, an M4 Cabrio would be great, totally. And then they go get the key for that, and they come back 5 minutes later, and they're like, I'm so sorry, sir, we're out of M4 Cabrios. Would an M850 be okay? And I'm like, same price? And they're like, yep. And I'm like, yes, absolutely. I'm afraid to like say yes, and they're going to come back and be like, I'm sorry, sir, we have no M850s left. Would you like a Porsche GT3 RS? But that didn't happen. So anyways, I got an M850, brand new BMW M850 in Germany on the Autobahn to go to the Nürburgring with for the price of an M135 per week. And so we were very excited to do some tourist laps, but it never actually happened. But either way, I got to drive all around the track, and all the roads around the Nürburgring are amazing too. Like, you could get in a whole lot of trouble. And I feel like the speed limits are even intentionally set really high around the track.
I'm sure people do, in fact, get in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. But the whole, I don't know, I don't want to call it a county, but for an hour in any direction, there's really nothing else going on in that part of Germany. It's the most, like, motorsports-centric area I've ever been around ever. Like, you drive for hours in any direction, and it's all just racing stuff. It's crazy. And the weather was perfect. Like, it was very picturesque. And it's always stuck very much in my memory anytime we come to the Nürburgring and the sim. So, I would love an opportunity to go back at some point. Here, we got to get over there and, like, get an AMG something or other to do laps with.
Oh, for sure. And if we can't do tourist laps, we're extending the stay by a week and doing tourist laps. I don't care what we have to do.
Well, you don't have to do tourist laps. You can just straight up rent like a GT4 race car.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Or a GT3 Cup Porsche or whatever it is. You can just straight up rent them for like not a lot of money. Like 4 laps of the Nürburgring in a 911 GT3 Cup car for $500, which is a
dirt cheap.
A bargain any day of the week in a real race car at one of the most badass racetracks ever. So
at that rate of like at that rate, I wouldn't even mind spending a couple $1,000s to just go ahead and just drive the entire day. It'd be worth it in my book. I would eternally be happy at that point.
Yeah.
Every cent would be worth it.
Yeah, we have a lot of. I mean, I know we both know the Nürburgring on the sim, but we'd have a lot of prep work to do to start thinking about like driving it. Like, I know in the sim and I can turn out laps, but I've never had to deal with like the fear factor of like doing it in real life. And all right, well, that wall's really close, so maybe we back this corner up a little bit. I've never had to like think about corners that way, so I'd have to like drive in a different context in my head.
I wouldn't even be so much worried about that as like the other people on the track and how insane they are.
Yeah, and sprinter vans and RVs.
Sprinter vans and like nightclub buses and bicycles and
DHL delivery van. Buses full of 30 people.
Small hatchbacks.
Yeah. I think I like this rear wing change.
Drifting around.
Yeah.
Really? So you want us to do the wing change, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Alright, cool.
Angela will be like, "You want to go further?" And I'm like, "No, because it's already enough now." And I can see in the tire temperature, our rear temps are a little bit lower, so we're not loading them as much. So I can definitely lean on them harder in some places.
That's the one problem I had when I drove this setup earlier. I was overheating the tires and I pushed hard for a few laps.
Yeah.
Like, I come out of the arena and it would just start getting super loose, and I had to like really baby it, and I'd lose a lot of time. And if I did try to push like I normally did, I would just lose the rear end and keep it together until it just went all the way around, and it was undrivable.
Yeah. The arena section is really fun, but it really very heavily loads, well, really the front and the rear, but because it's such low speed, you can very easily fry the rear tires off the car. And the way iRacing's tire temp model works, you have to just be very careful.
Yeah, especially in first gear. First gear,
Yeah.
you just let the hell out of the tires, and
Here,
it's
I'm,
so
like,
easy to
literally
start slipping here.
Yeah, like right here on the way in, you're really leaning on the rear tires and trying not to over-rotate the car. And then here, you have to very quickly flick it to the right without overdoing it. And then put the power down.
Definitely a lesson in conservation.
Yeah. This one, you have so much camber, you have to just trust and roll it through. This one, you have to change direction while on the brake pedal, which is a very delicate act that really helps to have a motion sim because you can really feel where the weight of the car is. And this one, you're braking and like letting this banking catch you, letting it settle, don't rush it, get it down and go. This one, really high speed, high downforce, lean those front tires. I got to be really careful not to make a mistake there tonight.
Yeah, the mistakes there so far yielded 2.5 second penalties. It was a race ending.
Yeah. Whew.
If you want to have a chance of catching those aliens, you gotta be really careful through there.
Yes. We can run consistently in the 2.0s. Or even in the low 2.01s, that would be great for race pace. Okay, thanks for leaving room there, bud.
You really are flying. Like, it's honestly seeing this now and watching it for a few races, it makes me realize, I mean, love Mercedes, but
Me too.
oof, it was really dragging. I mean, it looks so much heavier compared to this car right now.
This thing is so nimble.
Yeah.
It really only amounts to about a second in lap time difference, but it just feels like a rocket ship. Like, I just can't, it just drives so different and so planted and does such, the way it just commits out of a corner is insane to me. It just doesn't make sense.
I mean, it explains why you were getting, like, murked by Ferrari last season.
Yep.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha! Saw that?
I don't even know if I would have called it that. It just puts power down without developing a push or getting loose. Like, every time it just commits on the way out. And I've had to retrain my driving, honestly, to adapt to it. I was so used to something that just would give up at one end, and this whole thing just nicked.
Well, that's what I remember you saying when you were... I mean, you had, like, no time to practice, honestly, with the Ferrari before when we started, so... I mean, before the season started, but, you kept saying that, like, you didn't realize how much it would take to pull through all these curves. Like, you kept trying to over-brake.
What is this guy doing?
Whoa.
He was net coding out, and then I didn't know where he was. Sorry to interrupt you there, Death.
No, it's okay. I'm using not great lingo, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I was always... The Mercedes was a constant battle with it to keep it so that it wouldn't push, but also keeping the rear underneath it. And I don't know if we were just outside the setup window on that thing, but if you look at any of the lap timing data pullers from iRacing, the Mercedes just isn't fast. No one who's competitive is driving the thing, unfortunately. It's a shame because it's an awesome car.
And you guys spent like hours tuning it, like hours and hours, yeah.
And I still have probably 10 times as much seat time in that as I do in the Ferrari here.
And that, yeah.
And I just couldn't extract any more out of the thing. But this is fast.
I guess that's what always confused me as like someone learning motorsports, like a newbie. Is in the different classes like GT3 and GT4. How do they level out that playing field? Like, truly?
There's no perfect answer, but there's some really close answers. And
okay, so but there's like a lot of wiggle room. I mean, right? Am I?
Yes.
Am I not allowed to say that? But there is.
Yeah. Well, it's never perfect. the beauty of just a spec. Well, there's single make series where like Porsche Carrera Cup or F3 or Lamborghini Super Trofeo, where it's just one car, and you're allowed a certain box of setup changes that you're allowed to make, and the cars are quote unquote totally equal, otherwise the same hardware. Period.
Well, as a new learner of motorsports, because I haven't truly, I mean, since I met you, really, and honestly, only the last, I would say, like 3 years did I really start paying like true attention to the sport, like as a genuine learner. But I always thought that's just what motorsports was. I thought it was only the same car in the same class. So when you started teaching me about like GT3s and GT4s and a Ferrari racing with a Mercedes, like it just, that part to me is still kind of confusing, I'll be honest with you. Like not confusing, but make it make sense.
Yeah, no,
you know?
So the way that they do it in real life is what's called balance of performance, or BOP, whereby some controlling body somewhere at the top of the food chain, the ACO in most cases, or there's different groups that kind of do this. All right, so say there's 10 GT3 manufacturers.
Explain it to me like I'm a 5th grader.
Basically, this group goes out and tests all these cars at a bunch of different racetracks, and then they force maximum and or minimum settings onto these cars to make them equal with all of the other cars. And those things are like a minimum weight, minimum ride height, engine restrictors, different boost strategies, different maximum RPMs, maximum fuel capacities, all those things, so that in an endurance format, those cars are as close as equal to performance in terms of pace over a stint as possible. Now, they're not going to perform the same. It's not possible to make a rear-engined Porsche 911 turn exactly the same lap time or drive the exact same way as a Ferrari. Ooh, a little bit loose, carry too much. I'm going to reset pit lane, and I'll show everyone the car in these last couple minutes. It's not possible to make a rear-engine Porsche 911 feel the same as a mid-engine Ferrari 296 GT3, the same as a Mercedes AMG, a front-engine Mercedes AMG GT3, and obviously the body shapes are different, suspensions are different, the interiors are different, engines are different, transmissions, everything's different on the cars, but they're built within kind of a set of rules called a GT3 homologated spec that basically specifies their performance. So,
and the spec doesn't change throughout the season, obviously, or it changes every season.
It depends. There's always it depends on everything. So in IMSA, like there's a BOP specifically for Daytona, because Daytona is a very, very characteristically different track from every other track that they go to all year. So there's like a specific Daytona BOP, and then when IMSA goes to Sebring, then the BOP changes again. So if you're running the Ferrari, this is your maximum boost, this is your fuel capacity, this is your ride height, this is your minimum weight, and then you go to Sebring, and then that all changes. And the goal is that they're trying to make that a level playing field regardless of which car you have. Is it a level playing field?
It's impossible to truly be.
And politics. Like, if you're Ferrari, you want the least restrictive BOP possible. So you're always going to pretend that your cars are slower than they are, so that you get a lower minimum weights and a more boost pressure and more fuel capacity. So it's in Ferrari's best interest, and Mercedes, Porsche, Audi, Lamborghini, Lexus, Ford, Chevrolet, like it's in your best interest to like go and politic and kind of position yourself in such a way that all happens. So it's a very complex, and obviously, again, money and politics.
Politics, of course. Yeah.
Politics play a huge part in that. And then if you're a team, you're trying to always complain that, hey, our car's too slow, we can't compete, look how fast, this is as fast as we can go. And you may know that you have a couple tricks up your sleeve that can let you go faster, but you can't get caught not going fast enough. So it's a very complex system, but whereby they have to level the playing field. It's the best solution so far, but it is far from a perfect one, and they're always trying to refine a way to do that. If you didn't have it, BOP was introduced as a way to ultimately, level the playing field in terms of racing, but ultimately as a cost control device to keep manufacturers from spending hundreds of millions of dollars or billions of dollars just developing the fastest car.
Infinite budget, obviously.
Like, because teams like Ferrari and Mercedes would spend blank check whatever it costs to make the fastest race car, and then other manufacturers wouldn't participate because they're like, we can't compete with Ferrari. We're not going to spend that much money to develop a race car, and then you end up with 2 cars in the series, and it's not interesting for anyone, and one's probably way faster than the other. So,
or you end up like what happened in the 90s when Mercedes developed the CLK GTR and everyone just copied each other's homework and spent millions upon millions upon millions of dollars and ended up with all the same car.
Also, which is boring then, really. Yeah.
And
then
it chases everybody away unless they can make the exact copycat car.
Right.
Yeah. So it's a cost control device. But if you're the engineer, okay, here's a race session. This is the part we missed out on last week. All right, we're moving right now. So say you're Ferrari or Mercedes or Porsche or whoever, and you're designing the next GT3.
Now we can relax.
Now we can relax.
Now you can. I mean, you're racing.
Oh,
but we can.
I can relax. Now I can at least go.
Yeah, you still have expectations to meet.
Yeah, I know. You want to make the car that is the most versatile in the most conditions. You want it to be fast at every racetrack and have a window that teams can engineer their way to being fast with a wide variety of engineering and drivers that can be supported and that's reliable. That's not necessarily fast is not the objective because the BOP will level the playing field for that. So it's a very complicated ecosystem. And then every series, the way they implement their own specific set of BOP, that's also different from series to series. So unfortunately the answer in motorsports is usually it depends and it's complicated.
Right. I mean, I guess it's also naive of me to have thought that politics didn't play such a huge role in motorsports. But I never realized
plays a huge role in everything.
In everything, but especially obviously
motorsports
from the lowest level to the highest level.
Yeah, any form of motorsports, even extended to like plane racing and boat racing and anything like that.
Right.
When you play football or you play soccer or you play tennis, like there's no commercial, I mean, there's sponsorship and everything, but there's no direct commercial tie-in. Well, motorsports is inherently commercial because you have car companies that are making the cars and tire companies that are making the tires and racetracks that are locations and have all these things. So it's inherently money is baked into motorsports, and there is no way to separate that ever. It's
right.
just you can't have one without the other. So it's inherently a very complicated thing. And when commerce is involved, then money's involved, and then politics is involved. It gets very funny very quickly. So we load our qualifying setup. I want to make sure we're on that one-click lighter. Yeah, here we go. All right. All right, so I just want to see where our pit stall is. Oh, so we're at the very, very, very far end. Looks like we're in the top split because I see over 5,000 iRatings in every group here. So, oh boy.
But
when I was at the Nürburgring last summer, we were in this exact pit stall. Like, I'm pretty sure we were 2 or 3 from the end. So,
how cool is that?
Yeah. I saw Sebastian Vettel drive the RB 10 or 12.
Oh yeah.
From that spot right there. I know you guys can't see where I'm pointing, but from literally right there. So, and then the roller coaster is right there, which will never actually operate, so we don't ever get to see that. But
is that the one that like blew out all the glass or something?
The first time, so yeah, the story of the roller coaster here. I got the official story, is that they did this huge.
Oh, from like a credible source.
From the Germans. All the Germans on my team, they all knew the whole story. So.
There you go.
And they basically limit this place. They're like, yeah, so they built the racetrack, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, or the roller coaster 10, 15 years ago, and it runs along the front straightaway and gets up to 120 miles an hour. So like, in theory, if you ride it during a race, you accelerate up right parallel to the cars at speed, and then it does this whole loop thing.
Which in theory is awesome.
Is really cool.
Yeah.
They ran it once, and it actually, so the docking station for the coaster is like inside this building, which is like the whole kind of commerce and spectator area on the other side of the track. They ran the roller coaster once, and it blew out all the windows in the building on the first try. So they're like, well, this is never going to work, so we're not going to try this again. And the roller coaster has never been run ever again.
So your roller coaster tycoon days.
Did not take that into account.
Did not take that into account.
Yeah.
That's an oopsie on the engineer, I guess.
Yeah. Well, all right, so quick side story. Growing up, I played Gran Turismo and Roller Coaster Tycoon, and for like 2 years of my life, I was trying to decide between, does Greg want to become a roller coaster engineer or a race car engineer? And well, you can all tell which one won that one, or which one won.
It's not too late. You are still an engineer.
I think race cars are cooler now. I ride roller coasters and I'm like, it's more fun when there's no track to. Well, it's more fun when you're in control of the car and you're not just on a track that has to follow it on.
Touché.
So,
But Sebring would be awesome with a roller coaster that was just as fast as the people on the track.
yes.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, every racetrack would be better if there was a roller coaster at it. The only one. I'm trying to think of racetracks with roller coasters. I guess
racetrack. Doesn't Abu Dhabi's Ferrari World have a racetrack or
That's
a
right.
roller coaster in there?
that was the only one that came to mind. It's not technically at the racetrack, but it's like a mile away from Yas Marina, Ferrari World.
That's another place you need to go to.
I'm turning big wheel into the car now and just try to scrub the fronts and get some heat in. Alright, so as usual, this is my out lap where I'm just trying to build some heat in the tires as much as I possibly can. And then the first one, I get 2 fast laps. The first one is always going to be slightly on the conservative side. The tires still aren't quite warm. And then the second one, if the first one goes well, I'll be a little bit more aggressive. Or if I screw up the first one, I'll have to just bank something with the second one. So, all right, let's do this.
All right, Greg, good luck. Make us proud.
Thank you.
Why am I nervous?
You're nervous.
You can't afford to be nervous. Just drive the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not allowed.
Ain't no time for that.
Look, he's rocking oh, never mind. I jumped. 97. Heart rate. Oh, no, oh, never mind. Okay, I'll stop talking. It's going up.
I'm thinking about it now. Now it's just going to go up.
I believe that's called white coat syndrome. I don't know what it's called in a race car, but... Think about it. Aaron wants to say something, but he's not allowed to say it on the radio.
Wait until after qualifying.
I see the grin. I would also like you to know that the Shane Lewis just personally texted my cellular device
Oh, hello, Shane.
to tell me that I have a great media voice.
You're a great what? Media voice?
A media voice. I think he's blowing smoke, but you know, I'll take it.
You or me?
No, believe it or not, me this time.
Ah, I get told that all the time, but maybe we just need to be a media couple.
Like a podcast.
I mean,
Like a newbie slash seasoned
that would be actually
race
really
engineer.
interesting.
We could go places, yeah. We'll throw Garrett in the mix.
Yep. Chicane Club podcast.
Chicane? I don't know.
Gotta say, that was a pretty solid lap. Tires still aren't warm, but... Alright, want to go. I'm gonna start hanging it out here now. 2 minutes flat, I'll take that.
Not bad. That's
Love
13th.
that for you.
I'm gonna try to get a little bit more out of it here.
Man, they're fast.
Yeah, the aliens are.
Wow, they're
Oof.
aliening.
Alright.
Come on, Greg. There's a Mercedes in front of you. What are you doing?
No. Alright, we're gonna find some...
Merc.
We
Don't
ever
say
wanted
that.
Any sponsorship from Mercedes? It's all out the window now. We just
I'm sorry,
ruined it all.
Mercedes. I love you so much.
We
but
love you so
your
much,
car is not
Mercedes.
fast in iRacing.
Clearly it is.
All right, I think I've got another full second in this, if I can put it together here. Come on, stick here, please. Nope. We're gonna get it off track. Nope. No off track. It would stick on warmer tires. Giving her all she's got. I think that's Star Trek reference. I don't even know anymore.
Show me what you got.
That's everything I've got. That's going to be a 59.5.
Should have driven the Mercedes.
And I'm a 7/10 off the... What lobby is this? I was fast earlier today, and now I'm in almost DFL. Well, I don't feel too fast anymore. I thought we were fast, and I'm 2.6 off. A 56.9.
Alright, pack up, put the car in the trailer.
They are really fast, though. I mean, truly. Like,
That doesn't even make sense to me.
and I think you're doing well. I just think they're aliens.
Yeah, that's inordinate. Well, it's a long race.
Consistency will be our friend.
Yes. Man, that's really disheartening. I really thought we were fast, guys. That was a really good effort for me. I don't know if I may be 2 or 3 tenths in there. I could have cleaned up that lap, but aliens.
I mean, this means that he is.
Huh? I mean, you know what we got.
Yep.
I mean, I'm flattered that I'm even.
I was gonna
making it
say,
into
isn't that more
lobbies.
flattering than anything? Because like now you're in the lobbies with the.
Yeah. All right, Garrett.
the
When we
aliens.
said 26 earlier, we cut it really close. So let's go to 28 liters, please.
Sounds good.
And left side tires. Oh, we don't have a full pace lap.
Don't forget to put the notification we're streaming in the race lobby.
Yes, thank you. Here, can you do... I gotta get out of the car real quick.
Yep, what's up?
26 liters. We don't have a full pace lap, so we'll shave 2 liters off of that. I didn't realize you don't do a full pace lap here.
26 liters is done.
Yep. And left side tires.
We're all set.
No rain in the forecast. Let's go do this thing. Can you really quick turn the AC down to 68 in here, please? It's getting warm real fast. Only thing that's annoying about these starts that are on the back straightaway coming right to the front is that the GTP field goes, and then the LMP2 field goes, and then we're basically green before the GT3 field even gets a chance to take off. How is that possible that I'm that far away? That doesn't even make sense. I mean, I don't have enough time to really actually become an alien. I just want to... I really think I'm hanging this car out as much as I possibly can. I'm in a really good sim. I literally coach people to go faster for a living, and to be that far off is hurts the ego a little bit, which, we all need it from time to time, but... Oh, Murad and his M squad is right next to us. Or at least their livery is. Pace car's in. We're gonna be going green in the chicane.
Oh boy. Trust me, it can't be as bad as my Watkins Glen start the other day.
Yeah, I just want to survive this. Let's go racing. Excuse me, pardon me.
Watch out, you got cars re-entering track.
Yeah.
Ooh, that Lamborghini, I believe, was the race leader.
Oh, wow.
That's unfortunate. He said a 56.8 just to get knocked out in turn 3.
Yeah. That probably required some bumping and grinding for a guy that's a 6,000 I rating.
56.8.
Ooh, accident behind us.
Thank you to this Audi for blocking the Corvette. Wow.
Oh,
Wow. That Corvette totally had me. I didn't want to block him, but it was his. Now this Audi's going to be on the inside. He'll have the
that
inside.
Corvette's still there on you.
Yep, see him. Bill has the outside. Yeah, he's got me here. That was fair. Why did it get dark all of a sudden?
It did get very dark, what the heck?
Oh, I just learned something with what all these guys were doing in the hairpin differently from what I've been doing.
This just in from your racing, your driver coach,
Yes.
Mr. Lewis. Down one too many gears in the chicane. Brake to the apex of Dunlop allows a straighter brake zone. Eat more curb inside Audi curb.
Say that one more time.
No,
I'm just trying to
Down-
process it all.
I gotcha. Down one too many gears in the chicane.
I don't know if he's referring here. This is a different chicane than the 24-hour layout.
Okay, Shane, if you're listening, this is a different chicane than the 24-hour layout. Brake to the apex of Dunlop allows a straighter brake zone.
Got it.
And eat more curb inside the Audi curb.
Someone look up on a map which one the Audi curve is. I don't know what the names are for all of these. I should. Shame on me.
We have prototype traffic. Can you look it up, Daphne?
Yeah.
Heads up, you get a prototype approaching. A couple seconds here.
Copy.
Don't know what happened to him actually. He just fell off the face of the earth.
Okay. Alright, so this is the one he was talking about, brake towards the apex. I see that's what everyone else is doing now, so that totally makes sense for me. Ooh, a little bit over rotation. I just need to change my pedal work a little bit.
I'm still looking up the Dunlop.
Copy.
Oh, turn 7?
Okay, so what did he say about turn 7, specifically?
Brake to the apex.
Got it.
Dunlop allows a straighter brake zone.
Okay. Got no pressure behind, but I'm also getting gapped by this Corvette.
Yeah, they were fast today in the practices, even now. Like, holy crap. They have some real pace.
All right, settling in here. Trying this in second and first. I think second helps with traction, but it is a little bit more pushy in the mid corner there. Far inside field has to be catching us pretty soon here. Ah, I see. That's definitely faster.
Yep, GTP field is starting to catch up.
Copy.
Just about 8 seconds out, so.
Copy. I think maybe I can try that in second gear. Maybe Shane is right. Getting caught by Mercedes. What does that tell me?
But I didn't want to bring that up to you. I didn't want to add that insult to injury.
Sorry, Mercedes. Again, I love your brand and your cars, and even the GT3 car. I really do like it, but it's not fast in GT3. But clearly faster than me. Took it easy there with whatever that car was spun out.
It was Ferrari.
Copy.
Got GTPs on top of you now.
Yep, see him.
One more coming.
Is this the guy who started on pole in the Lambo?
That is, yeah.
Okay. But he's just gonna drive by me like I'm standing still.
Heads up, you got a GTP coming on you now.
Yep.
One more. I agree. Giorgis says the Mercedes behind you is harnessing CP number 85 energy. Shane's mutton chops are at the wheel and they can't be stopped. Heads up, more GTP.
Yep.
Alongside. The sideburns are too powerful.
Oh, that was not cool. He didn't leave enough room for me. And I stalled again? Come on. Why does that happen?
GTP traffic.
Yep. Well, that's annoying. I got a little bit loose and he just hit me. I mean, that was on me. Just knowing that he left no room for me to have that mistake, but we'll review that afterwards. It's still on me. Five incident points? How did that happen?
Somehow when you're re-entering the track, you get an off track.
Oh. Okay.
So you got contact points for the contact the Lamborghini who rear-ended you, and then you get the off track coming back on the course.
Got it. Or it feels like.
And then you got P2s kind of ahead.
Copy.
1.5 out.
Copy.
One more coming. 1 second out.
I've never had a car stall in here before. And it's happened in 2 races in a row now. I need a starter button map somewhere.
I guess so.
Yeah. Never had to worry about that before.
Well, I guess now when you know the car is going out, then just clutch in. Got P2 right on top of you, 2 of them.
Yeah, I could do a better job with that for sure.
Imagine driving a P3 car. You go around, make sure to clutch in, or else you're paying a $300,000 fine. Buy a new car.
Yeah. I mean, I just to do a better job of clutching in, which I know to do in real life, but in
One
the
more
sim,
P2.
I'm kind of like just never thinking about it. Pretty sure I had
It's
the.
easy to forget.
Yep.
Right, you got 2 P2s, 1 on top of you.
A Gorilla.
Another one 1 second out.
Copy. A Gorilla livery on a LMP2. That's interesting.
P2, about 1 second out.
Copy. Ooh.
Get another P2 on you, and a GTP behind him.
Copy.
GTP off wide.
Yep.
One second out now.
Copy. Another 2 laps and we can take fuel if we want.
On top of you. Diving inside.
Got it. Got it. Thank you. The straggler or the leader? No,
Leader.
Alright, I need to clean up what I'm doing here. Made some minor mistakes. Mercedes looks slow ahead. He might have some damage. Need to run that in third gear. Stop doing it in second, Greg. Hard being a coach and engineer because I just see everything I'm doing wrong all the time, and it's just so hard to make all those changes in real time. Only so much my brain can do at once.
Famously quote Angelo, stop being an engineer, Greg.
Can you put the mic a little closer to your mouth? Yeah, I can hear you.
I said to quote Angelo, stop being an engineer, Greg.
It's hard. There's like 5 motorsports experts inside my brain, and I'm trying to just be one right now. It's in no way a bragging thing. It's literally a conflict of my brain getting confused with having to juggle.
It did sound a little braggy.
I didn't mean it to sound that way.
I'm just joking.
This is what I do for a living.
Just drive the car.
Just joking.
I know.
Just drive the car.
Shut up and drive, Greg. Shut up and drive. Man, I'd love to reel on this Porsche and Mercedes. Slowly getting up here. We can stop anytime we want to for fuel. I don't see any need to yet. I think in another lap we'll have all the GT3 traffic on us, so. Hill going down to second there. Garrett, yell me to stay in third there next time.
Yep.
Oh, Joey's watching? Thanks, Joey. Thank you for joining.
Yeah, Joey said fun watching you at work makes closing easier. I guess he was closing down the bar.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. He did say G2G.
Yeah, you hit the
GTG.
go, yes.
Alright, prototypes coming through.
2 of them.
Third gear this time.
Third gear.
I'm gonna have to do it in second because I have to go short with these prototypes going around me. Boxing this lap.
Copy that.
Um,
Behind you is Matt Copium Arnold. That is a legendary name.
I'm gonna wait one more for boxing. Just looking at where the prototypes are, especially the LMP2 fields. One more lap would get most of them by me.
Sounds good.
So boxing this lap.
You got a P2 leader right behind you.
Got it. I see him here. Yeah, definitely boxing this lap.
P2 on you, or GTP rather.
Got it.
Second one coming in. Right on top of you.
Please don't. Oh my god. That was very not cool, dude. Third gear. Much better. Confirming, box this lap, taking 26 liters, left side tires.
Box, box.
Box, box. Oh, Porsche's feeling the pressure.
Go. Oh, you're boxing. Just joking.
Yeah, right.
That sucks.
It's okay. I didn't want to get held up or get busy racing him anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
Alright. Good entry. Have a good stop here. We're not taking any optional damage repairs. For anyone hopping in, we are in the top split. So for me to be in 17th is about as good as I could reasonably hope to be, not being an alien. So, all right, 26 seconds of optional repairs. We're not taking any of it. We don't need it. All right. Let's go. What am I joining into, Garrett? Oh, clear.
All clear. GTP or a P2 6 seconds out, that's about it.
All right, looks like the whole P2 field's going to come through now.
Yep. Got a few seconds.
Got to move on so they don't catch us while I'm still on cold tires here.
Two and a half seconds.
Got it. Prototype spun in front of me, it looks like.
On top of your note.
Got it. The
One
leader.
more. 2 seconds out.
Yep.
On top of you.
Yep.
Next one is 9 seconds out. You got breathing room.
Okay. Tires come up fast when the brakes are hot. And then the other side of the car is hot, so we still have half the grip to work with. Car still feels good. Let's go. I know I'm celebrating being 19th right now, but I just feel like I'm doing a good job aside from that self-spin earlier.
P2, 2 seconds out.
Copy. Come on, traction control.
Right on top of you, breaking the
Yep.
pass.
Next one's
And no
closed.
more, 3 seconds out.
Copy. What's going on up here?
On top of you.
Got it.
One second out. P2.
Let's see if I can get that Porsche by the time he pit cycles.
P2, 1 second out. On top of you now. GTP, 4 seconds.
Copy.
Rocco Zani said this is his dream track.
Cool. Me too, Rocco. Me too. Let's go drive there someday.
Oh, did you see that?
Yeah, he just. Whoa, hello.
What?
He disconnected and then showed up right next to me. Dude, get
He's
off
still
the
on your
Wi-Fi.
inside.
Dude, get off the Wi-Fi. Or get off of Comcast. I blame Comcast.
What is he gonna sim in a Burger King or? It's either that or it's Comcast. More likely Comcast, to be fair.
Yeah,
Love how
I
we're
just-
just throwing all these big brands like under the bus tonight. You can still sponsor us, guys. Ooh,
Nice.
that prototype got parked. He had nowhere to go. Feel bad for him, but I'll take it.
Got a P2, 1 second out.
A little greedy in that first curve, but
P2 right on top of you.
yep, see him.
And then you get a GTP, 1.5 seconds out.
Copy.
Hey, Dr. Mike, we're 17th right now, fighting against serious aliens.
Yes.
GTP?
Top split, Dr. Mike. I'm going to need an adjustment on Friday. Getting in too early there, Greg. Whew. Yes.
Dr. Mike said, oh, did you see it?
Yeah, too many aliens is right. I don't know how in qualifying I can do my best ever lap, maybe 2.5 seconds off the other guys. I'm really good too, but or not as good as I think, I guess. Alright, now we're getting sloppy, Greg. Stop it. Trying too hard.
Yeah, get the setup right in the car, and I'm going to get your setup right.
Yeah. I blame the nut behind the wheel. Prototype coming out of pit lane. He'll be in front of me.
Got a GTP, 2 out.
Copy.
That is the race leader as well.
Copy.
One more GTP, right on top of you.
Copy. Okay.
What the hell just happened?
I didn't do anything wrong.
I saw him go completely wide,
That's an
ate the
alien that
curb,
did that.
and then just looped it.
I just saw
How did our
Hey,
ESP do some bumper damage? I think.
aliens are not impervious to screwing up. That was a 9,000 I rating driver who just did that to me.
I'm earmark this lap. You can watch that back.
Lap 16.
Rating.
Let's see what happened there. I want to see that afterwards. That makes me feel a little better that aliens screw up too.
Yeah, he went flying.
Unfortunately, we did get some contact points.
Yeah, I see that.
Got a GTP, 1.5 out.
Yep. This is the end of the pit window, has to be. Oh, is it the Porsche I was racing?
It is.
Alright, well, good at him for doing a good job, but now I gotta... Don't get overzealous, Greg.
Got a P2, half second out.
Looking at him too much.
Yeah, you are.
Yep.
Got a GTP, 1.5 out.
Copy.
One more GTP, 2 seconds out.
See him?
You got a P2 right on top of you.
Copy.
GTP right on top of us.
Yep. No. go one click forward on bias when I get a second with straight hands here. Man. Be overdriving a little bit, but
Three seconds out.
okay.
GTP. It's the alien from before.
What's that?
I think that's the alien from before, isn't that?
I didn't get a good look at the car. Third gear. Third gear.
GTP, 2 seconds out.
Okay.
Right on top of you.
Laps to go, 5 laps to go, it looks like.
About, yeah. Two seconds, GTP.
Copy.
Right on top of you, GTP.
So Shane, if you're still watching, I presume that the way I feel compared to these aliens is the way you feel compared to, like, the Adam Christodoulos of the world. Where you're like, I know I'm fast and I do a lot of things right, but I don't know how these guys are going that much faster. That's probably how that feels. More for me than anything. All right. Cat and mouse with this Porsche right now.
I think they're feeling pressure.
They don't know what's about to catch them.
Yeah.
Car still feels really good. Can in theory do that flat, but it just leaves too small of a room for air, so. And it doesn't cost much for a little safety lift. Come on. I see you, pork chop. I know it's not glorious fighting for 16th position, but I'll take whatever I can get. That was a 1/10 of a second that lap I got on him. Might need a few more.
You get a GTP, 2.5 out.
Copy. There's a bow in leading LMP2 right now, Daphne.
I have taken notice to that very special name.
Not the only bow involved in here right now.
Bo was up here at the engineering station for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was chilling. For everyone that's has no idea what we're talking about, Bo's the dog.
Yes.
The mascot, if you will.
Chicane Club mascot.
Indeed.
I saw something pop up there. I didn't read what it said.
Geologic says earlier, he said, need a better gamer chair, 100%. And then he said, or she, you know, I actually don't know who this is, so he or she. Top split is where the real trickle-down economics happens.
Yes.
Greg is learning that very well tonight. You wanted to be faster, you had to be humbled, you know?
My P2 is 3.5 seconds out.
Copy. 2 to go. Looks like coming to the white flag next time, I presume.
Seems like it.
Released too much pressure too soon there.
P2, right on top of you.
Copy. What? Oh, off track. Trying to play nice. I was gonna say I didn't see where contact was.
Shane said stop downshifting a second gear, third gear, and turn 11.
So I need to stay more on top of you for that.
Okay. I know, I'm trying to. My brain keeps making me do it.
Geologic says, big fan. I found you guys to the CP85 team since we know Willander in the garage.
Oh, you know Dustin. Oh, he's awesome. We're trying to get Shane in here for one of our live streams. Shane, please come in if you're listening. Oh, that was the leaders. I'm on the last lap right now.
I have white flag. Got a P2, 3.5 seconds out. Don't downshift to third or second.
Yeah, I know. I was a little slow.
A little bit late there.
I know. I knew that
I should have been more on top of you.
I only did it like a quarter of the time.
That P2's right on top of us.
Copy.
Oh, he just ate some curb there.
I didn't have anything for the Porsche, unfortunately. That should be checkered flag, right? Yeah, checkered flag.
That is. Unfortunately, we did not have much for Matt Copium Arnold. His actual middle name.
Alright, I'll take a full cooldown lap here. We got enough fuel. Well, I'm exhausted. I think average heart rate 95. I don't know where that stacks up with previous weeks. Nothing crazy happened there. I had the self spin over the Lambo. That one was on me. I would have caught it, but he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time and just caught and turned me as I went sideways. But that's a misjudgment by me. Prevented the Sebring race off the schedule. I was big sad. We were supposed to do the Nürburgring 24 with them, and they had the code 60 whoopsie. Ah, I know exactly what we're talking about.
7.5 hours in the Nürburgring, or?
I think he's talking about the Nürburgring 24 last year.
Ah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm sad that they pulled the Sebring race from the schedule, too. That would have been really nice.
That would have been an awesome race.
Just to have a North American, I would love to see Creventa come back and do a race here in the States, especially at Sebring in our backyard. That one would be really cool.
Yeah, why would they pull that? I mean, obviously, I know there could be political or whatever reasons, but...
There was geopolitical reasons, actually. What was it? The container got delayed? Oh, the Suez Canal thing happened at the same time.
Oh, with the fuel and stuff.
Yeah, the Suez Canal was closed, and the shipping container with the cars couldn't get here in time, and then literally, like... They still did the race, but like the containers arrived with the cars like on Friday afternoon ahead of the race that was supposed to start on Saturday. So, not exactly enough time to get everything done. Something like that, I think, is the story. Oh, sorry, Mr. LMP2, you're coming up awfully fast on a cooldown lap. Good race there, Matt. I had nothing for you. Driving back to pit lane. Just trying to get extra safety rating points and not mean to try to crash into someone on this cooldown lap.
You would still get points for that?
Yep. Oh yeah, I know a lot of people do the cooldown laps just to help their safety rating because it's still official point scoring session.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So they complain about shipping the cars.
The cars, they complained. Well, it was just because they were coming straight from, I think, a race in the Middle East or somewhere, and they just couldn't physically get the cars here in time because of the Suez Canal blockage, I think was the story. I might be getting details wrong, but it was something to do with shipping. It was a logistics issue, but they never came back. Oh, look at the front of that Ferrari all dinged up. I assume that's from when the prototype thing happened. Yep. When was the, let's see if I can find the lap where the spin was early against the, I assume it was this one. Yeah,
this is it.
I mean, this was, I'm pretty sure, on me. I just think I got overly aggressive trying to go really deep on this, and I got sideways, and, I don't know. He left no room.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was right up on top of you.
Let me see this again.
I'm not sure about that one.
I want to see what I did from the cockpit here. I mean, I definitely got loose.
Hardly though. You didn't scrub any speed.
He left no room for me. I mean,
you didn't scrub any speed when you got loose though. Like,
in theory, he was expecting me to run really tight the entire time, which is kind of overly you expected a little too much of the situation. I know you're an alien, but that doesn't mean I have to give you the position. Respectfully. See this again? I ran a little wide, and he just like ran up right behind me. I mean, he wasn't expecting me to spin and have to check up on the brake pedal like that, which is where he hit me. I would call that a racing incident. I won't point blank, but it would have been nice if you left a little bit more room, but I was the one who got loose, so I take responsibility for that. But I personally would call that a racing incident, so no harm, no foul. All right.
16.
16 was the one with the prototype.
Yep. The alien incident. I watched him go wide out of after the AMG arena. All right, he's really wide here. I guess he caught some grass and then like he just looped it.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yes, I was watching him go wide. I'm like, oh wow, he's pretty wide. And I looked back over at the NDI screen, and all of a sudden he was right in front of you.
Oh, he's in the grass.
Oh yeah, he ate grass there.
Oh,
he turned in. Oh, he turned in on a lawnmower.
Oh, he's 12 feet off the track. Okay, all right. Well, that explains that. Wow, that's crazy though. Someone
that's a co-brown.
Yeah. Sorry, just reading your. It was the Middle East scheduled to get the cars here, and then backlights were really awful. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. It's a shame that that race got screwed up because it would have been really cool to have a headline race like that. But that after that disaster, I think they were really apprehensive about coming back to the States just with the logistics headaches with it. But it would have been cool to, I think it was a 24 or was it a 12? I think it was supposed to be a 24, which a 24 at Sebring is insane. I don't know how any car would finish that race.
Yeah, what's the percentage of cars that actually finish?
The 12-hour? The percentage of cars that finish the 12-hour is less than the cars that finish the Daytona 24. The Sebring 12-hour in real life is harder on the cars than the Daytona 24 is. It's usually much hotter. Daytona is usually cold and wet. So Sebring's usually hot, and it's so bumpy that it's so violent on the cars that they usually don't last. And that's, I think, coming from someone who's engineered and wrenched on the cars, yeah, Sebring 12 is really hard.
I remember the GTP class, only the first year they were there, only about a quarter or less of the cars finished, which is crazy.
Yeah, they had so many battery issues. I know the Daytona 24, the first year, it was really just a matter of who can survive the longest, and then they still hadn't had all the issues fixed out. What was that? Last year?
2 years, I think. I think maybe 2 years actually. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But also actually about 11 last year. But also there was a really big accident in the very end of the race, which is really awful to watch.
Yeah, that was
That was
3 or 4
bad.
cars got taken out. So, man, that car looks really good.
A few minutes ago, Shane said, I swear to God, I'm just talking for Shane. Shane, you could just be here right now.
You could either be here or just get on the YouTube chat.
You could. He said that was totally a Spinelli move.
Oh. I won't rag on Loris, but it was let's say it was an aggressive move from the Lamborghini. I love you, Loris. We won a world championship with you. You're bad fast, but you are undoubtedly an aggressive driver. You're incredibly fast. So, all right, let's get out of this. We'll save the replay. Shane, you are welcome here anytime, and I would be great to have you next week because we're racing Daytona, which is a place that Garrett and I have driven. And Shane, I don't know how many times have you done the Daytona 24? I think I always get this number wrong, but I know you. Wait, Shane?
Yeah, Shane.
Oh no, it's double digits. Like he's done.
Oh wow. Okay.
He's done Le Mans 4 times.
18,
I was thinking Le Mans, yeah.
18 or 19 times, something like that.
Maybe the number's wrong. I feel like I've heard 11. I've heard 19. A lot of times, and he's definitely won it a couple. So. All right, race results. Not that we expected much from this because I didn't do that well, but all right. Well, the alien that won has an 8,900 I rating and a 4.99 safety rating. So
holy.
Yeah. Exactly.
Is it Can you like click on someone's profile and like see how many hours they've driven? Like, what are the stats that are given when you click on someone's name?
Here, rather than blowing up this guy, I'll click on mine and I'll show you my profile.
Well, blow him up. Who cares? It's public stuff, isn't it?
It is public. I don't want to blow him up. Here, I'll hit mine.
He's obviously good. Not like you're doing it because you're being a jerk.
Well, it's the same for everyone. So that what you see on this page is that how long they've been a member, the region that they're in, when they joined.
Yeah.
You go to license page, so you can see all their ratings in all the different categories, the number of weeks they've been participating, all of their safety rating information. Then you go to stats, and it'll show you every single race that they've participated. Like this is oval, so let's go to sports car. And this is technically since the divergent. 2 seasons ago, they split road into sports car and Formula car. So I've had 28 starts in the last season and a half, 2 wins, top 5. So you can see how many races, wins, top 5s, poles, average starting position, average finishing position, total laps, incident points per race, win percentage. So, so I'll pick up Max Verstappen's profile because I think that's a safe one to compare to. Let's pull Max's profile up just because I think everyone in iRacing has probably done this at some point. Max Verstappen.
Let's see it.
Member for 9 years. Joined in 2014.
Joined when he was 5 years old.
He's an A-class in sports car, A-class in Formula car, and an oval, which he's not an oval whiz, is even a Class C. So let's go to his stats page now. So if you look at this progression, he probably created a profile and then didn't touch it for 5 years. And then did one race. In one race, he went from an I rating of 1350 to 1400. And then in the next race, 2100. and then 27, and then 27, and then 29, and then 3000. Oh, this is oval. Excuse me. All right, wrong one. He hasn't done any sports car stuff in the
That's
last
funny.
season. He hasn't done. It doesn't look like he's done much stuff to change his rating. So here we go. So July of 2019, he clearly had not participated. In a matter of 2 races, he's a 5,000 I rating. 2 races, he's 5,000, and then a couple
Wait,
more
what?
races.
How is that possible?
He was at 7,000 for about a year through all of the pandemic and everything. So here's where's the pandemic start? Where's March of 20?
Yeah, for sure. Everyone was probably driving a lot.
All right, so here's
Yeah.
first week of March, which is when everything went to crap. Boom, you can see his I rating immediately shot up because he probably did nothing but sim race. So now he's in the high 8,000s, and then it slowly creeps into the 9s, which is where he is now, 9,400 I rating. Meanwhile, he's still a Formula One driver. He's been a Formula One driver since, I don't know, when did he start? 2017? Right around here is when he was racing in F1. So, alien is an understatement for him.
Wow.
So he started in sports car in general. He's done 300 races. He's done 313 races. He started and he's won 194 of them. So his win percentage is 62%. He's won 62% of the races he's participated in, which is probably pretty close to his stat in Formula One. I want to see the actual Formula One, the same metrics, because he's probably better in Formula One than he is in iRacing, ironically. The last thing he participated in was the 24 Hours of Nürburgring. They started second, finished first. Picked up 355 championship points in a 9,500 strength of field. They still won in an alien class. All right, we're getting off topic now, but that's Max Verstappen's iRacing profile. Shout out to Max if you're watching. Can't imagine that you are, but that would be really cool.
One day.
One day. All right, let's see how we rank. Let's sort what we did with points here. All right, well, my ranking went from 1,000 to 495, so we definitely picked up some good points here. Why won't you show me Florida Club? I want to see Florida Club. Why won't you separate this by Florida? iRacing, your UI is broken. Can't be the only person. All right, so let's look at Division 2. Where does that put me now? 162. So as the season goes on, we'll slowly rank up higher and higher here. So this will keep getting better. What else? Let's pull up the schedule and then we'll wrap up for the evening. Does anyone else have any final questions before we get started for next week? What I will say is that Daytona is going to be really good. Garrett and I, we did the VRS endurance race here. I think it was a 3-hour race.
Yep.
2 seasons ago, just you and I. I started, you did the middle, and then I finished. And I think we finished pretty well.
We finished top 5. Didn't we podium?
I think we podiumed.
I think we got 3rd there, yeah.
Yeah.
For our first endurance race and iRacing, we did pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. That was the first and really only multi-driver race we've ever technically done. We want to do more of them.
We have to do another one for sure.
We just have to take it on the schedule and plan for it. We just got to do it and get a group of drivers and yada yada. But yeah, Josiah says that mine is the same way. It doesn't show Florida only. Annoying. Yeah. All right. So I'm glad that I'm not the only one. So iRacing, your UI is broken. Please fix it. I can't be the only one to point that out. So Daytona is going to be good. Totally different. It's going to be a totally different setup. It's going to be a super low aero, trimmed out to do maximum speed. Usually the car, having done this a lot in real life, usually you make the way you set up the car that's ultimately fastest, the car feels like crap in the infield. It's pushy, it pushes on the way in, pushes on the way out, and then it's bad fast in a straight line, and you make up all of the time being fast there. We can use a lot of curbs. We're not really worried about damaging tires, so we'll run some goofy setup stuff to get it trimmed out as much as possible and then sending it through the bus stop. So if you can be if you can be really good on the brakes in 1, really fast out of turn 7, and then really fast through the bus stop, that's usually all you need to do. And then everything else in the infield, do your best and manage, but don't set the car up for what it's going to do in the infield, because you want to stand up the tires, take all the toe out of it, take all the wing out of it, and then drop it onto hard spring so that, well, usually you soften up the rear and you stiffen up the front so that the rear of the car will drop down progressively on downforce, and all you're doing is trimming out the cars in a straight line. And we can't do, I don't think we can play with packers and bump rubbers, but that would be the trick you would do in real life to also help the car faster in a straight line. So that's going to be fast. I can do it with my eyes closed. Garrett and I drove there. What was it? November, October, December? What time of the year was it? We
I
drove
think it
there.
was around November-ish.
Yeah.
Right after, it was right after we were there in person.
Yeah.
Not long after.
We had just driven in real life there. And I've been there many, many times and have PTSD there. Not from anything bad happening, just the Daytona 24 is such an exhausting experience that if you do it a couple times, you're like, every time you go to Daytona, you just start feeling the pain of being awake for 48 hours and doing a race. It's an awesome experience. It's just so exhausting that your body feels it and you pay for it for an entire week afterwards. So cool. I would love to drive it someday, but Garrett and I drove it in a BMW M235i street car with a lot of race prep done to it. So not as fast as a GT3 car, no downforce, only 400 horsepower. I forget what lap times we were doing, but we were getting up to like the mid 150s coming to the tri-oval at start finish and chickening out of doing it at full throttle, only because the car was really short wheelbase and had no aero. So it's kind of nervous at that speed, and we weren't trying to set lap times. So we were chickening out, but it'll feel good in the car with proper downforce. Hopefully a GT4 car sometime soon. So, all right. Well, let's here. I'll pull up the car while I'm closing everything up for the night, so you guys can admire this beautiful Ferrari livery that we have. There we are. So, as always, this would not be possible without the support of our partners. We have so much going on here that Garrett and I do on a daily basis. Daphne does on the marketing end, and then we've got guys like TJ and Angela who help the live stream happen. So many moving pieces that make this whole thing happen. So we could not be possible without their support, their continuous support. So Southwake is our business partner in developing the business model for all of this. We say it every week. There are very, very cool things on the horizon and inside the next 12 months that we cannot wait to share with you guys. And that's all I can really say about it. But just new location with more sims and more space is in the works, is all I can say. And hopefully this Jupiter location is still here too. So yeah, good things on that front. I want to thank Decipher Technologies for all their support on the IT side of things. I was literally texting Josh today about getting some help with some cloud storage. All the support that they've done for us in the building and offline and online has been fantastic, and we could not do without them. We love featuring the logo all over the car. You can see it right on the side skirt here, and then we've got the logo on the front bonnet right here, and then on the back of the rear wing, so that all the guys who are slower behind us have to stare at the Decipher logo. What else? We've got, try to do them in a different order tonight. We've got Captain's Chair Coaching. So that's Mr. Jason Dukes giving me the best business and life coaching around, keeping me pointed in the right direction with everything, keeping this operation in tip-top shape. We've got Race Logic and VBox. So their logo is, why am I forgetting where it is? Josiah, where's the VBox logo? I know it's on here somewhere. It's on the rear bumper. I've known that. VBox on the rear bumper here, and Race Logic is the parent company for that. So we have a Race Logic VBox blue OLED lap timer display on my right here that gives me instantaneous split timing, speeds, G-forces, and it's the same device we would have in the real car, which is why we like to use it here. And then it integrates with our sim so that we capture all the center screen video and all the driver data, and then we can analyze all the video and data in real time in VBox's circuit tools. So at the same time, VBox also produces the ultimate video and data capture systems for real race cars for analysis in the same software package that we use here in the sim. So when it comes to driver training, it's really cool to have the same software package to analyze both in the sim and in real life. So thanks to VBox for that. And we're, of course, a dealer of their products. So if you've got a sim or a real race car and want to learn more about that, shoot us an email at info@thechicane.club. Sawbelt, yeah. All right. Well, they got plenty of airtime tonight, but we love Sawbelt. They're fantastic. We're very closely tied with them. Their U.S. headquarters is based here in Boca Raton, Florida, and we're actually paying a visit to them tomorrow. Yeah, so we use a lot of different Sawbelt products. I've been wearing their TG10 gloves that have been fantastic. I really like these things. Really good grip. They breathe really well, very comfortable. They're really durable. Yes, they're FIA rated, so totally overkill for a sim. Hopefully, fire risk is not an issue in your simulator. I really hope that's not the case. So they're overkill for usage in the sim. They do have a new sim product line with sim gloves that are really cool. You don't get that fire rating approval that, so important to have in a sim. But we do a lot of driving in real life, and I like driving with all the same gear that I would use in real life as much as I can, at least, which is why I like driving with these gloves. Same goes for the seat here on the seat belts. Totally. Well, I would argue that the seatbelts are necessary in a motion sim like this because they strap you down to the seat and you feel a lot more, the motion gets transmitted to you a lot more solidly rather than in them being off and you kind of just, the seat flops around underneath you. So there is a function to these, but it's not safety, or I'm not getting ejected from the seat soon, hopefully. And then we've got their GT pad seat. Again, FIA rated, not required for racing in a simulator, but it's the ergonomics of a real car is really important for what we do with our private one-on-one driving coaching sessions. And the GT pad seat is great because, one, it's really safe. You have the containment element for your helmet up here, but all these pads can be removed. You get different sizes of them, stack them up in different orders, different colors, whatever it is. So it's a very versatile seat, which is why we like to use it when we have all sorts of different shape size drivers in here all the time. So Rocky's Ultimate Garage. So the Sawbelt logo is right under the window here. And then obviously you see it. We didn't even put it, that little window net, little flap there. That's just built into the car. We didn't even put that there. Rocky's Ultimate Garage. Where's Rocky? Right here on the door. Yeah, right. So Rocky's Ultimate Garage, doing the best wheels, tints, wraps, PPF detailing, and sports car, used car, vintage car sales in all of South Florida. So we paid a visit to them last week, and I know they just had a baby announcement. They're having, Rocky and Nicole are expecting a young baby boy, I think by the end of the year. So congratulations to them for that announcement, and we're hoping to catch up with them in person real soon here. So Monza suspension, Angelo, you missed out tonight. I heard you in my head the whole time telling me to shut up and drive and take more wing out of it. But I know you're out at Road America this week, so that's Anze's suspension. He is a master shock builder, rebuilder, revalver extraordinaire. The absolute best in the country. So if you have a pair of race car or street car shocks that you need rebuilt and want proper customer service and really good technical support on that, you need to talk to Angelo. So for all of our partner companies, all of their links are right in the description of our video, and you can catch all their references on our social media as well, primarily on Instagram at thechicane.club. So I think that's about it for tonight. Yeah, it was fun. Nürburgring. I made some small mistakes. Track was awesome. I feel like I learned a lot with the car this week. But now we go to a Daytona, which is characteristically a totally different track. So in some ways, I'm going to have to learn it again. But I know Daytona really well. And it's honestly not that hard of a track. There's no secret. It's just about making the car fast more than making the driver fast. So looking forward to it. But you guys want to say goodbye for the night back there?
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. It was a pleasure.
All right, guys. Well, you'll see us same time. Thanks for your help tonight, guys. Garrett, we've got Garrett helping me with spotting and crew chiefing, and Daphne for
what am I for? What do I do here?
Emotional support. Also, for what it's worth, tonight was our first date was precisely 7 years ago. So, an anniversary of sorts. So, thank you for joining me with race car stuff, Daphne, because I guess this is what you signed up for.
I guess this is what I signed up for. Yep.
Oh, and thank you to Josiah from Replica Racing for, a badass looking Ferrari. This thing looks really good. So at the end of the season, we'll make this livery. I think we're going to plan to make this livery available on Trading Paints. But if you go to Trading Paints right now, I think the link is in our description for the video. The livery for our Mercedes is available for public use now. So if you want to go drive that, go check it out with a link in the description right now. So other than that, we'll see you guys here 8:00 p.m. next Wednesday Eastern time as we take on Daytona International Speedway on the road course. So until then, keep racing.